2025 Giro d'Italia, Stage 3, our third of 3 days in Albania, and it ends in a sprint, and it ends as day one ended with Mads Pedersen on top and back in the pink jersey, taking it off the shoulders of Primož Roglič, who held it for 1 day after the second place in the TT yesterday, won by Josh Tarling. But today it was a day for Lidl Trek to drive it home over the climb, 38 kilometers, 40 kilometers out, and into the final narrow stretch. Vacek leading out Pedersen, and Pedersen delivering, getting the crucial bonus 10 seconds that would ensure that he gained 9 seconds in the overall over Primož Roglič. He trailed today, heading into the stage by 1 second, and into the day 9 seconds ahead of the Slovenian. I spoke with the Slovenian after the stage, and let me tell you what he said. But before I get to that, I want to mention this Giro d'Italia coverage is brought to you by Bicycle, the best place to sell pre-owned bikes to anyone around the world. Got too many bikes in your shed or garage? No problem. Head on over to bicycles.com, the old /FloBikes. List your bikes in minutes and sell them to others worldwide, and get your 30% off seller's discount protection code. Head on over to bicycle.com. What did Primož Roglič said? Well, he said, "I'm too old for this." He said with a laugh, and then I stuck my mic in his face and I hit record. I said, "Primož, this is strategy, right? It's prestigious. You've won the race back in 2023, but you know deep down that to hold this thing for 20 days or 3 weeks, whatever it is too much to manage, too much stress on the team day after day. Why not give it to a rider like Mads Pedersen and Lidl Trek? He's going to be happy to work for it in Stage 4 after our first of 3 rest days, mañana, domani, tomorrow." And that's what the team did. They let Mads Pedersen go for the sprint and win the sprint. Nah, that's not true. Mads Pedersen would have probably outsprinted Primož anyway, so he had no choice. But he was happy to let Pedersen take it away. Now, let's talk about what went on in the stage, because it is Josh Tarling, yesterday's stage winner, who was in an escape, I think, of 6 riders. And at one point, Tarling, the best placed rider in the classification of the 6, he was in the virtual pink jersey. But that wouldn't last for long, because back behind it was Red Bull, Bora Hansgrohe, Primož Roglic's team, and Mads Pedersen's team, Lidl Trek, doing the pacemaking, and we saw the gap coming down. We also saw rider after rider get kind of weakened and distance from that escape. We also saw riders dodging goats and stray dogs out on the course as well. Now on that climb, around about 12K, averaging some 7% gradient with the kicker 12%, we started to see the cracks appear in the sprinters. Olaf Koy was out. Wout van Aert, who's just been suffering, well, he was out as well. Our guy, Caden Groves, the Australian, was out. Sprinters out left and right until we only had Mads Pedersen, who's just been showing mean climbing skills. We saw that in the final stage in Paris-Nice this year, and we saw it in Stage 1 as well. Ciccone, Verona, Vacek, all those guys doing the work to make sure Pedersen was in good position. Not too hard to distance Pedersen and Vacek, but enough to hurt their rivals who didn't have the better climbing legs. And so Pedersen, over the top, was in an elite group that, by our accounts, didn't include any other sprinters. It was Corbin Strong from Israel Premier Tech who fought with his teammates to get back in that group. And as we came into town here, we're in Vlorë, was where we began today's day. And it began with a big loop around town. Primož Roglič was doing his thing inside the bus, and they had announced, "Primož Roglič, we need you at the start." Finally shows up at the start line, and he's there for the start line. The stage kicks off 160 kilometers. But Primož Roglič, he was just taking the day easy. He's been in this position before, having won the Volta a España 4 times in Giro in 2023. Man, he's not stressed. But the stress levels were high coming into the finish here in Vlorë, seaside town in the southern part of Albania, because the roads were narrow. We saw a dog run across the road. The riders were throwing their arms up in disbelief. And at one point, Corbin Strong was working his way up these narrow roads, squeezing through to get up there on Mads Pedersen wheel. It paid off, because in the sprint, he was right there and he challenged Pedersen for that win. And it would have been a big one for Strong. Oh, it was a close one. Pedersen had to fight for it. Had Strong not fought earlier on in the stage, had he not been strong to make that main group, like many other sprinters could not. He would not have had that chance, but he pushed Pedersen to the line. Had he not been there, Pedersen would have had an easy win. However, we did see a great ride by the Venezuelan Vlorë. And in fourth spot, well, that went to Rivera of Ineos. Vlorë for Team Movistar. So we got some representation up there as well. Other new names to watch out for on the old sprint horizon, but it was Mads Pedersen, former world champion back from 2019. Winner in stage 1, winner Tour de France stages, and today, stage 3, the Giro d'Italia 2025 on top. Not just on top, but on top of the podium, spraying the champagne Prosecco with the pink confetti coming down. A rock party festival for Mads Pedersen. As the Giro d'Italia heads back over to the mainland, it's Mads Pedersen in control.